What's going on, guys? It's Smudger here, and let's talk about Season 6, the Battle Pass, how to level up as quickly as possible, as painlessly as possible, in both Call of Duty Cold War and on the Warzone side of things as well. I'm going to start off with some general tips, or rather just one general tip, because I see so many people just either forgetting or neglecting or just not thinking to do so, is put double XP on. If it's not a double XP weekend, put it on. It doesn't hurt. You can put on the weapon XP. If you have Battle Pass tokens, you could, but just generally the normal double XP will do a world of wonders in this. So if you have them stored up, don't be stingy. Obviously Cold War's coming to an end, so you don't need them on that front anymore. Make sure to use them all up. They do stack in terms of time, and not in terms of the multiplayer, so do make sure to use them. Without further ado, let's jump into the Cold War side of things first. As far as Cold War multiplayer goes, I won't be touching on zombies. I don't play zombies. I'd feel bad trying to give you tips for zombies that, you know, people out there have been playing for years and have it down to a T. From multiplayer perspective though, it's pretty simple. Once you have double XP equipped, you're going to jump into any fast-paced game mode, whether that be 6v6 face-off, 12v12 mosh pit, Nuketown if you really want to. It's really not that fast-paced anymore. It kind of goes through ebbs and flows of like when it's super fast paced, when it's full of people just trying to do long shots, not moving for the entire match, which I get why people go into that map to get their long shots and etc. You know, I'm not bashing that, but it's not really the best for high XP games anymore. And after that, you're going to want to go down one of two routes, I'd say. You're either going to want to use a gun that you have very rarely used or you don't use that often. It doesn't have to be a brand new gun, just a gun that maybe you don't have all the attachments or locks, or maybe, you know, you've just not really played with it much. Or you're going to use a gun that you're super comfortable with. So there's a couple of different roads you could go down. The first one being with the gun you don't really use much is you're going to pick up some pretty easy XP in those initial kind of few matches, unlocking challenges that you didn't realise you needed to use that gun for. Similarly, if you use a gun you're very comfortable with, that's going to increase your performance, increase your kills, your scores, all of that kind of stuff, and that's going to boost it on that side. In addition, switch out your operators or put it to random choice, because you'll unlock operator challenges as you go randomly without really thinking about it. It's one of the easiest ways to just kind of farm XP whilst just playing the game with no effort from your end. And then finally, rush. Do not sit back at spawn unless you're using something like a sniper maybe that you're really desperate to use but also want to try and level up. Rush, get into the action. You know, obviously score streaks don't reset, you don't need to worry about that, and we'll get onto score streaks in a second, but rush, you know, play aggressive, get into engagements. That's how you earn XP. And if you're in an objective mode, the large majority of those engagements will be around the objective. Even if it's not a particularly objective heavy lobby you're in and there aren't exactly people jumping on it, jump on the objective yourself. People will come and challenge you because they see you're on the objective. It's an easy way to just draw gunfights to you. Of course, you get that added bonus. If you do win the match at the end, you get that winning bonus. But if you are losing, you also get a bonus for staying in the match, so do make sure you play it out to the end. And then finally, really quickly, let's talk about score streaks. Again, kind of two different routes you could go down depending on the sort of player you are. If you're super confident in your ability, go for the high tier ones, you know, just rip up the map. It's a super easy way to get XP. Obviously, in order to get to them, you're already going to be earning a fair amount of score to get up there. So, you know, you could go down that VTOL, that chopper gunner route if you wanted to. Alternatively, if you do find yourself kind of cycling through the lower ends of the lobby, UAVs are great, because you get the bonus every time one of your teammates kills someone. Similarly, counter UAVs, harps, and any kind of like napalm strikes. Strafe runs are 5,000 I think, but they're not that difficult to get, and they do a ton of damage for a long period of time, so definitely worth checking that out if you haven't already. And then finally, field upgrades. Jammers, fantastic. Field mics are okay if you're XP farming. Trophy systems and jammers are kind of like the two staples you want to be using. Trophy systems because of course you get a little bit of XP every time it stops an explosive, and jammers if you kill anyone within the jam zone, or your teammates do as well. I think you get a bonus. Correct me if I am wrong on that. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Fast-paced modes are your best friend in this. There's no other way about it. Play hardcore if you want, play core if you want, play what is going to get you the greatest return on your time. Without further ado though, let's switch over to Warzone. And still, I truly believe the best method in Warzone is the plunder method, whether that be you're doing supply runs with a helicopter like I am in here, or if you're just doing a mixture of like supply runs, recons, whatever's closest, because recons are still super good. I still think they're overlooked, you know, especially if supply runs are getting kind of snapped up pretty quick. They weren't in this match that I was in on here, but if they're getting snapped up, just grab a recon. Like, it might take a bit longer, okay, but it's still a pretty passive way to generate income, especially if you have your gun out for either contract that you want to level up. So say you unlock the new gun in the battle pass and you want to level it up a bit before you start to play with some attachments, etc. Just keep that gun out while you're doing the objective and it will count, and level it up. And it's, you know, it's completely passive, completely non-violent if you want to take a pacifist stance in Warzone. The only thing I would say is if you get a supply run into Storage Town, there's either two methods. You just wait it out until that timer goes up so you don't die, you don't have to deal with everyone in Storage Town that's testing out weapon builds, or you kind of full send it with a vehicle of some sort, preferably not a helicopter in this case, and just kind of accept that 10 people are going to come out the woodwork to try and kill you. Storage is a bit of a weird one. It's a very hot drop in plunder, and it's full of a lot of sweaty people trying out their new builds, which is fair enough, but do just be mindful of that. If you see your contract ping on over there, do be prepared for a bit of a battle. Outside of plunder, because I know it's a bit boring, everyone likes to do that method. Rebirth, obviously fantastic. Short matches, so if you're short on time but still want to kind of get the most XP for your time, I guess, is a great way to go. Obviously you got the respawn aspect of Rebirth, which makes it incredibly useful. It means you don't have to play quite as safe. You can push fights you wouldn't usually. You know, I'm sure most of you are aware of this now. I felt like when I was telling people about Rebirth a few months ago, they perhaps weren't, but most people are aware of Rebirth now. You know its pros, you know its cons, you'll know if you like it or not. Outside of that, any of the like limited time Warzone modes, so what was the one they had, like the team deathmatch one they had a few weeks ago, I always call it Warzone Rumble, but it's not. Anything like that, the realism BR, obviously that takes a bit more time and patience. They seem to give more XP, and I don't know if it's because the players in there aren't as sweaty, because quite often it'll be like a casual player trying out a new game mode, or just a group of friends having a laugh, not really paying attention. It's far easier to get kills, and it's far easier to stay in the match longer, because of course with any BR, the longer you stay in the match, the more XP you get. And so if you do want to just play regular Warzone, regular Verdansk, that would be what you're going for. You could go for kills, of course kills has a higher risk and return, but you know, if you just wanted to hold up and wait until you got to like circle 5, circle 6, that would give you a decent amount as well. Not the most efficient way, but you know, it is a possible way. But yeah, those limited time game modes are nice kind of palette refreshers as well. If Rebirth's getting a bit sweaty or Plunder's a bit boring, just hop into one of them, kind of chill out. Obviously we'll have some new Warzone modes this season, or have I made that up? Who knows? Either way, check them out. They're usually a pretty easy way to get some cheap XP almost. And with that being said, that is where we're going to leave it today. If you guys have any tips or perhaps I haven't covered, any funky little glitches in XP you've found, let me know in the comments down below, share it with everyone. And as always, if you did enjoy the video, give it a like, subscribe if you want to find your way back. Hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.